Dorrie, and I'm sure y'all are wondering where Brittany's at, but this week it's all about me. So just to let y'all know, I'm gay. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. This is my coming out story, so tune in. So I'm sure some of y'all are wondering how I pretty much came out to my family and my friends. Well, my entire life, I've been straight. I've never been interested in girls, so don't even worry, y'all. I was not looking at y'all or whatever. So, I pretty much started hanging out with Brittany, and we just pretty much connected. I really liked her, and I mean, we just hit it off pretty well. And I don't know what it was, but I had some type of like attraction to her that I was just like, she can get it. And you know, I was talking to her behind my family's back, behind pretty much a lot of people's back, because I didn't know what I wanted at that time. I didn't know what Brittany wanted, but I think I just really knew I liked her a lot at the time, so I didn't really care to even tell anybody, because to me, I didn't think it was their business. I'm grown, so I don't feel like I had to tell y'all, especially because I didn't really know where things were gonna go. Because I mean, at the end of the day, this is my life, you know. This whole process somehow affected other people's lives too. But in 2016, obviously I started dating Brittany at the end of the year, and she was coming to OKC, I was coming to Dallas. Well, my sister, Veronica, I'm gonna try not to say any names, but such a diva. She pretty much kind of figured it out. And I don't know if I was giving off hints or, I mean, I'm 26 years old at the time, so I'm just like, I'm grown, so I kind of wanted to tell everybody, but I just didn't really know how, because I knew it was going to hurt them. But she pretty much figured it out, and she kept on saying little hints like, she going to try to get you, you might want to stop hanging out with her so much or whatever. And I just be like, no, it's nothing. Me and Brittany are friends. She's not even like that. Like, you know, I'm playing it to the left, knowing really what's up. So, she kind of noticed that I was coming back and forth to Dallas, and she kept getting an attitude with me, like, why are you coming back? You need to get on your ish, blah, blah, blah. Like, you too busy trying to go to Dallas to kick it with Brittany. And I'm just like, why are you tripping? Because I remember me and her having this conversation one day when she was like, Dorrie, if you gay, you can just tell me, because I'm going to be the one to accept it more than anybody. Y'all, when I tell y'all, she's been like the hardest person to crack. Like, I don't know, it's just been, it was hell. Like, we just would bump heads, even to this day, and you know, we would bump heads, and I finally just like, you know what, I don't want to bump heads with you. You're my sister, I love you, and let's just move forward. Like, this is who I'm gonna be with, and you just gonna have to, you know, accept it. And I mean, even if you don't accept it, just love me. That's all I ask for. So, yeah, like, she was pretty much the hardest one. Like, we just would stop talking, and she just didn't understand. Like, I guess it was just the fact that, like, you know, me being with a guy my whole life, and now her sister's being with a girl, and nobody really expected it. My other sister, Sharonda, she's always like the peacemaker somewhat. But she kind of course, she wasn't too happy about it, but she definitely was more kind of supportive, or like at least tried. So I don't have much to say about her. I mean, I didn't, you know, obviously I didn't tell neither one of them because they figured it out. But Sharonda, one day, I'm down here in Dallas, and she calls me on the phone, and I'm with Brittany in the car on our way. I think we were going on a date or somewhere, but she calls me and she's like, hey, Dorrie, Mama's on three-way. She want to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, not thinking like what she wants to talk about, because at this time, I don't think any of them knew I was in Dallas, because I wasn't telling them I was coming to Dallas. Well, I'm like, hey, Mama, what's up? And she's like, Sharonda, why you put me on three-way? Why you put me on three-way? Like, and she was like, Mama want to ask you something, Dorrie. And my mom's like, no, Sharonda, like, no, Dorrie, I don't want to ask you. I'll talk to you later, because, you know, what I got to ask you, I want to ask you in private. So at that point, I'm like, I know what she wants to ask me. And I'm like, okay, Mama, because I was just trying to dodge the bullet, because I really wasn't ready to tell anybody. So, and I mean, this is probably a year into me and Brittany really talk. I mean, not a year, but a month into me and Brittany talking. So, I'm like, okay, mama, I'll talk to you later. And she's like, Dorrie, is it true? And I'm like, is what, mom? She's like, are you gay? And I was like, mama, I thought you wanted to ask me in private. Like, why are you asking me right now? I was like, but I didn't say any of that. I was just like, okay, mama, I'll talk to you later. So the next morning, I get a phone call from my mom, and I'm like, hey, mama, what's up? And she was like, so you talking to a girl? And I'm like, no, mama, like, I mean, yes, no, I don't know. And she's like, well, you know, pretty much your sister said you talking to a girl. And I was just like, I mean, yeah. And she was like, well, are you gay? And I'm like, I'm not gay, mama, but I am talking to this girl that I really like. And she's just like, okay, you know, if you know my mama, she's just the like sweetest person ever. And I'm sure it bothered her because, like I said, nobody expected, at least nobody expected me to be gay because, you know, I mean, so, but she, you know, my mom's like, I'm gonna love you regardless because you my baby. Like, I don't care, you know, like, you my baby, I love you. I'm gonna support my kids. So, yeah, so moving on, I remember another time my mom calls me and she's like, hey, Dorrie, are you by yourself? And I'm like, yeah, mama, I am. She's like, well, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what's up? And she sat there for a minute, and I'm like, mama, what's up? Like, what do you have to talk to me about? And she was just like, you know, Dorrie, is this really what you want to do? And I'm like, it's what I want to do. And she's just like, you know that, you know, being gay in the Bible, it says that you're going to go to hell. So that moment that she told me that, I just instantly, like, flipped shit. And I was just like, mama, for real, like, all this time you've been telling me you support me, like, you on the phone with Brittany, you doing the most, and like, now you want to call me and tell me I'm going to hell because that's what somebody told you. And I mean, I guess they told her that, like, if she supports me in what I'm doing, then she's going to hell too. So, you know, I was upset. I went off, and I felt bad because, of course, it is my mom, and I didn't want to go off on her. But at that time, I'm just like, are y'all all against me? Like, is that how we're doing it now? So I'm like, I can't even believe anything you tell me from this point because you just flipped on me. And of course, you know, she apologized and she was sorry, and she was like, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Like, you know, mama, sorry. So that was that with my mama. Like, since then, she hasn't flipped on me since. With my grandparents, it's just been, they know, but I didn't really have to tell them. I just was dodging them as much as I can. I would barely call them. I was just trying to dodge having to tell them because I just know my sister was telling me when her and my grandma was playing with my papa, but being real serious and telling him that, oh, you know, Dorrie's dating a female, they pretty much said that he felt as if he was about to have a heart attack. Like, he had to sit down and all that or whatever, but he's still alive, like, so he's good. But I just remember, you know, that was that with them. But with my, you know, my grandma, I just remember incident. She was like, Dorrie, I mean, you've only dated guys. You always like guys. Like, why are you dating a female now? And I was just like, you know, grandma, she makes me happy. Like, this is who I like. This is who I want to be with. Like, she makes me happy. It's something about her. And she was like, so it's something about her? And I'm like, yeah. And she's just like, I'm okay, Dorrie, you know, I'm just going to pray for your soul. And I just like, was like, okay, grandma, do whatever you feel like you have to do. And I remember, you know, it took a year before she actually met my grandparents and, you know, some of my other family members. And I remember I asked if Brittany can come to OKC for Christmas because I wasn't going to go home for Christmas if she wasn't coming with me. So I finally called my grandma. And I'm like, Grandma, you know, I might come home for Christmas. So if I do, I'm going to bring Brittany with me. And she's like, oh, Dorrie, you know, I'm going to have to think about that. And I'm like, think about what? Like, either you want me to come home for Christmas or you don't. Because I want to come home because, you know, it's my family. I want to see them. So, but I just wasn't like, I wasn't going to give up Christmas with Brittany, our first Christmas together. And you know, for OKC, like, that's the battle I want to win with my girlfriend, and I want my family to accept the fact that she's, like, you know, accept me bringing her around. So that was that. Even with my papa, I really didn't even, I haven't had the conversation with him. I mean, I didn't, it just hasn't been said. It's just known now. And then my brothers, I mean, my brothers were super easy. They didn't really say much. Only thing that, like, my brothers, they called me one day and was like, so is it true, Dorrie? Is it true? And I was like, is what true? And I was like, he was like, are you gay? And I was like, yeah. He was like, so this whole time, y'all been calling me gay. Because my brother's never had, like, my little brother has never had a girlfriend. So he's like, this whole time, y'all been, you know, cracking jokes on me, calling me gay. And it's been you the whole time, huh? And I was like, I mean, I just, yeah. If that's what you know. So that was my, you know, my family. And then, you know, I pretty much held a lot of things in. It was just a struggle. And it's still a struggle. Like I said, Brittany didn't get to come home, like me and my family, until like a year later. And, you know, I think that most of the time I would just kind of keep things to myself and not really express how I feel, because I want, you know, I feel like I didn't have anybody on my side. But I just remember one day my brother calling me, and, you know, he's like, so have you talked to everybody? And I'm like, and I just start breaking down crying. I'm just like, no, you know, I haven't really talked to anybody. And I was like, he was like, well, Dorrie, just tell me this. Are you happy? And I was like, yes, Cameron, like, I'm so happy. I've never been treated this way ever in my life. Like, I love her. She's the best thing. And he was like, you know what, Dorrie, if you happy, that's all that matters. And that moment, that's when I just realized, you know what, at the end of the day, I don't need anybody's, like, support. I just need people's love. And that's all I want. Like, just love me for me. And I'm going to be the same Dorrie. So at the end of the day, all I can do is be true to myself, and you either gonna love it or you gonna hate it. And, you know, I mean, one thing I would just say is that I'm just happy. I don't feel like, you know, I don't feel like it's a difference. Like, I've dated guys my whole life, and then me now dating a female, there's nothing different besides the fact that we're both emotional. But other than that, y'all, that's pretty much my coming out story. I'm sure the world wanted to know, like, have I ever liked girls before, or is this something, a phase? It's definitely not a phase. It's definitely my life, and this is who I am. So, peace.
Is somebody at their first pride?
Yep.
She's at her first pride. Isn't that cute?